Hey, hi. I'm Mona, and if you're here, you found Kaleidoscope Dreams Tarot. It's time for another reading. So today I have the Santa Muerte Tarot, and then I also have, what is this called? The Monarch deck by Theory 11. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. I hope everybody's doing fine out there. Okay. Maybe we can get some kind of love reading, or I don't know, something. It's been like a downer lately, right? Anyways, let's find out what we got going on here. Okay, general energy for today's reading is Eight of Wands, swift messages. Messages back and forth, right? Somebody could be receiving a message. Now, in the reverse, this is about not quite receiving the messages. Maybe somebody's thinking about sending a message or something like that. Okay, so we'll put that in the upright. Now, the messages are being made because why? They want to create something with you. Something wants to be created, right? So let's go ahead and get 5 cards to start out. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Hope everything's going okay with you, hanging in there in your healing journey. If you are new here, I wish you the same also. Hope that everybody is just doing well out there, feeling better, hopefully, and just trying to stay above water, right? Okay. I need 2 more cards. I do teach along the way, so you're not lost, and I try to let you know what the cards mean so you know how I'm getting these stories. Or even if you want to learn yourself, it's okay, no problem. You can also make your own YouTube channel, you know what I mean? But I like to teach, so I teach along the way, and if you like the way I read, you can subscribe, like, comment, and share. Otherwise, I will still be here tomorrow, okay? All right. Bottom of the deck, we have here, what is this? The 6 of Cups, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 of Cups. Sometimes hard to tell what the numbers are here because of how they have them positioned, but we have the 6 of Cups here. Now, in this deck, the 6 of Cups represents love, right? In this deck, it represents reminiscing of the past, of some sort of emotions, right? So we could be talking about maybe an ex, right? Yeah. Or maybe a new love. Yeah, that would be great, right? For those of you looking for love or want to know about love, maybe this is a love reading. That would be nice, right? So, but we'll see, right? So we have the 6 of Cups here. Somebody's thinking about somebody, and they may want to send you a message. Yeah. Now, in the reverse, what's the opposite of love? It's hate. We don't like to use that word around here, though. If anything, we like to use dislike because hate is a strong word and it's just not very nice. So we could have somebody who really loves you and somebody who doesn't like you, right? And they might want to send out a message to you, or they might be thinking about sending out a message to you, okay? So we also have the 5 of Cups here, right? And the 5 of Cups is about sad over the loss of a relationship. Yeah, someone's sad. Now, the way I set it up, this could be you or another person, right? You or a person you're dealing with, you or the situation, or you can flip-flop those two, okay? So somebody here is sad over the loss of the relationship. Now, if you're not sad over the loss of a relationship, then that's not you. Maybe this is you. We have the 10 of Swords. Ooh, it's kind of sad. 10 of Swords is about being backstabbed. So that we could be talking about you who could be sad over the loss of a relationship because you've been backstabbed in that relationship. Darn, I am so sorry. Okay, you don't deserve that. You deserve all the love in the world. Okay, if that's the case, I'm glad you're here. Let's try to get you to feel better. Okay, because you are enough. You are loved. And I care about you, and I love you. If no one's told you that, I'm going to tell you that, okay? So we also have the Magician here. Wow. Now, that's a great card to have. You know, the thing is if you're feeling sad over the loss of the relationship and feeling really backstabbed and hurt inside, the best thing to do is just forgive yourself for putting yourself through that, right? You can forgive the other person if you like. But I've also found out that, resentment's not good and forgiveness is good. It's great, right? But what's even better is also don't forget to forgive yourself, right? Because sometimes you can forgive another person and it still doesn't feel good inside. Even if you do it in the privacy of your own home, you pray, whatever you do, it still doesn't, sometimes it still doesn't feel good inside. And the reason being is you still have a little something built up within you. And what that is forgiveness for yourself. What you might ask is forgiving yourself for having to go through this. Yes. A lot of people forget to forgive themselves, right? Because you could have been backstabbed and you didn't do anything wrong. Something traumatic or terrible could have happened to you and you never did anything wrong. So the best thing to do in addition to forgiving others is also don't forget to forgive yourself. Okay? We all do things. We all wear those rose-colored glasses and things like that. Just forgive yourself also. Add that in there. It will help you. Okay? We also have this magician. And I kind of feel like if you combine those two things with all that forgiveness, forgiving others, forgive yourself, this is what you become. The magician. And it's in the upright. And that turns you into what? A master manifester. Yes. So it looks like somebody has to do a little bit of healing. But once you get through that healing, you basically get those manifestation powers. Why? Because of being grateful. Because you're grateful, right? And you're grateful most likely because you have healed. Anyone out there who heals should be grateful for the hard work that you have done on yourself. It's not easy to heal from traumas or abuse or whatever you went through. It's not easy at all. And you're never going to forget about them, but at least you can put a different mindset in your mind that will allow you to move forward prosperously, live a little bit more of a happier life, try to put the past behind you, even though, like I said, you're never going to forget, but at least you're going to know how to control yourself in the future and also see the red flags if a situation like this should so happen to pop up in your life again, right? This is why it's also important not to forget what happened. It's just so if something similar happens in the future, you're able to recognize it, okay? All right, so you end up being this master manifester, grateful, healed, not 100% healed because you'll always remember, but, healed enough for you to move forward and be happy with yourself. Also, if you pay attention and you've done this and you have become this manifester, look around you and see how many blessings that you get, right? Miracles. And you probably didn't notice it before because you were so depressed and sad or whatever. But if you keep your eyes open, you will start to recognize all the blessings around you. They will become so much more apparent. And in order to be this manifester, you really have to be grateful, for whatever it is you're dealing with, whatever it is that you have, lessons or blessings, right? Okay. We have also here, this is the 6 of Swords. Leaving a toxic situation because you want to go somewhere better. So after you have healed and you figured out that you can manifest for yourself and you separate yourself from that, this is where we're at, the 6 of Swords. And this is somebody leaving a toxic situation to go somewhere better. Now, this is obstacle or advice. It might be hard for someone to do that because most likely you may need to manifest the funds to do so. You may need to manifest how you're going to do this. So I do suggest to try to figure that out because you don't want to just leave blindly. You got to know where you're going and what you're doing, right? Yes. And when it comes to advice here, the advice here is yes, leave this toxic situation because it's not helping. We also have the King of Cups right here. And that could be you, male or female, doesn't matter. The energy or the description of the King of Cups is a person who is very caring, very loving, nurturing. The King of Cups likes to help people, right? Kind of like Jesus, right? Be like Jesus and help who you can, right? That's what Jesus did. And you have that energy too. And not only that, but you're very intuitive. You can tell when something's wrong, and you can tell that you need to separate yourself from toxic things. And that's what this might be. So yeah, this kind of does, I don't know about a love reading, maybe love for yourself, but this is fantastic. It sucks that you had to go through this though, but at least you're figuring it out now, right? Yeah. Okay, so we got the 5 of Cups here. Sad. Okay, you're sad over the loss of some sort of relationship you went through, and it's most likely because somebody stabbed you in the back, right? Yeah, it sucks. It could be a King of Swords energy, or you could be King of Swords energy. Somebody who's stable and abundant. And it's in the upright, so we know you're not a criminal, right? Because when the King of Pentacles is in the reverse, that is a straight up criminal. So I do see here that you're someone who's honest and good. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the 3 of Cups. This could be third party or a celebration, right? So we do have the 8 of Cups. It looks like you're sad over the loss of a relationship because somebody walked away, right? With this 8 of Cups, somebody walked away. This 8 of Cups also doubles as the Moon card, which is secrets and illusions, right? So you could have found out about some secrets and illusions, and that's why you walked away. It really all depends. Or somebody was keeping secrets from you. You didn't know what they were, but you knew it wasn't good, so you walked away, right? Then with this King of Pentacles here, that could also be your energy. You could be a business person. You could be very grounded and stable and kind and generous and all that good stuff. And we also have the 3 of Pentacles, collaborating with others. You could have been collaborating with someone else, also had third parties. So there could be a lot of people involved in this that you were dealing with who, you're really sad to leave them. And so situations like that could involve a group of friends, a relationship. It could even be a family, right? And walking away from a toxic family is really hard. And it's very disappointing when you find out that it's your family, the people you're supposed to trust, that you actually have to get away from. So, but if we're dealing with a third party or celebration, you could be dealing with third parties, or they could have been dealing with third parties. Or if it's a celebration, you're being celebrated for figuring this out because it's difficult. It's difficult to figure that out. Now, in the reverse, because this is a 50-50 card, this could also mean that you're not willing to deal with these third parties anymore. Yeah. And that's suggested, just for your own health and safety and whatever, right? So we have the 10 of Swords. Tell me about this 10 of Swords. Woo. Put them all together, right? There's the 3 cards. Bottom of the deck, we have the 4 of Wands. All right. Now, we have 2 people here, right? Or 2 situations, possibly. The 4 of Wands is the 11-11 card, and this could represent soulmate energy. Now, anybody can be a soulmate, right? And it could be a family member, it could be a friend. A soulmate can even be somebody that you meet and you have a little conversation with, and they enlighten you to something, right? You could be like standing at the grocery store and talking to the person waiting in line with you because the lines are so long or whatnot. And they say something to you that wakes you up to something, and you're like, whoa, that person could be considered a soulmate, right? But if you're dealing with like a romantic or friends or family or something like that, this is soulmate energy. It's also family energy, right? And this is a positive aspect of them. In the reverse, this is a karmic energy. This is somebody who takes advantage of you, and they're there to teach you a lesson. So even though it's a karmic, we should always be grateful for the karmics, because those are the ones that teach us specific lessons. And if we recognize them, those things don't happen to us ever again. So even though you might be upset or sad or angry at whoever, deceived you, think of them as teachers. They taught you something. They taught you about this negativity that happened in your life. And so you should always even be grateful to the karmic, believe it or not. Okay. So let's go ahead and find out what we have here. We have the 7 of Cups. We have the Knight of Swords, and we have the 4 of Cups. So somebody here, we have the 7 of Cups. This means there's a lot of options. Okay. Somebody could have had a lot of options, right? Somebody could have cheated on you, or people could have ganged up on you or something like that. This could also represent the Chariot, and that's about moving forward, right? Moving forward from this deception or whatever this is. This also can represent law enforcement, the legal system. And if that's the case, somebody could have tried to get you in trouble or do something against you like that. But I do have the Knight of Swords here. This is a card of speaking the truth. So you could have spoke the truth to an individual, or you found out the truth about somebody through messages or whatever. And then we have the 4 of Cups here. And this is somebody trying to come back or tell you, oh, can you please forgive me? Or, oh, I want to make you an offer. But whether or not you accept that offer, we don't know, because it's all up to you, right? Whatever situation you went through, everybody's situation is different. So, but it looks like somebody might be bored with this offer. So it just depends, right? Okay. We have the Magician here. Tell me about this Magician. This is a great card. In the end, somebody becomes a manifester. And that's what we like, right? We are all manifestors. Manifestors for happiness and joy in our life, right? No matter what the case, right? That's why it's always good to keep calm and cool and collect. Because in the end, it's going to be a lesson that should be valued, okay? So let's go ahead and get one more card. There we go. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands, right? Eight of Wands, Eight of Wands. So there is going to be messages coming in. You're going to find out about something, right? It's going to be something that's going to allow some sort of stability in your life, because the Eight of Wands is about swift messages, but it's also swift movement to create stability, right? So somebody's going to bring some messages. It's going to bring some stability back into your life. Now, in the reverse, no messages. They haven't come out yet, or they won't come out, or somebody's afraid to talk, or something like that, okay? But in the upright, that's what we like. We have the Two of Wands here, and this is about having a heated debate. And this heated debate involves something with the future, right? And then we have the Queen of Wands here. And the Queen of Wands is, she is also a manifester, right? Male or female, doesn't matter, because the energy of the Queen of Wands is somebody who's very passionate about what they believe in. So you could be a very passionate person, somebody who goes after what they want. And you keep doing it and keep doing it until you get it. You know, that's how people are successful. That's how people succeed. If you fall down, you get up and you try again. And this looks like that's your kind of energy, and that's fantastic. We also have the Seven of Pentacles here. And the Seven of Pentacles doubles as a star card. So that does mean that you have gone through some sort of healing. Right on for you. That's great news, right? You might be somewhere along the line though, right? Everybody's timeline is different. But if you make it here, that is fantastic. And if you keep working at it, you'll get there. You will. Just remember, you are loved, you are enough, and you're a good person, and you deserve the best. Okay? Now, so somebody here definitely going through a healing process, passionate about what they're doing. That passion could even be like, I am passionate to heal myself. I will do everything I can to feel better, to find joy and happiness in my life. And that could be something like that. And somebody might want to call you and tell you about that, right? If that's not you, if you're not the healed one, somebody might come around to a Queen of Wands energy who is healed to say, hey, I am trying to manifest a good future. I'm trying to manifest better for myself, or something like that, okay? And that's fantastic news, okay? Let's go ahead and see the Six of Swords. Now, somebody is definitely being advised to leave the toxic situation that they're in, to go somewhere better. That's what the advice here. But the obstacle is can you do it? So you might, like I said, you might need to manifest finances. You need to manifest a destination. You know, there's a lot of things to think about when you're trying to get away from something that's toxic, right? Yeah. I need one more card, please. Woo, we got two. This was the third one. We have the Two of Cups in reverse. Okay. Now, this hasn't happened. This is a possibility. It doesn't mean it's going to ever happen, but it is a possibility. Okay. And we have the Two of Cups reverse. This is telling me that somebody, and if it's obstacle or advice, this is telling me is somebody's wondering if somebody still loves them. It's hard to tell, really. If you're trying to return to somebody from the past and you don't know if they still love you or not, I mean, the only thing that you can do really is to contact them and ask or try or see, you know, because you can't blame anyone for trying, right? If you don't try to do what it is that you want to do, you're never going to know, and you're always going to have that in the back of your head for the rest of your life. And that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. So even if you get refused or if you get accepted, it's better for you to just, you know, find out at least, right? Now, at the bottom of the deck, we have that Five of Swords here. Okay, obstacle or advice. Is there going to be lies involved here? Scheming, scamming, planning. Okay. In reverse, somebody finds out the truth about everything. Okay, so in the reverse, the Five of Swords is good. In the upright, it's kind of like a disappointment, because this is about finding out about somebody planning, scheming, scamming, and lying. So either you're going to do that, which I hope you're not, because if you're healed, you're not going to do that. But this could have been something that you found out in regards to the toxic people you're trying to get away from. Okay, now we also have the Two of Swords. Yeah, you got to make a choice. Are you going to leave this toxic situation, or are you going to sit in it? All right. You sit in a situation like that, you become bitter and angry as you age, and you become like one of those bitter old men or bitter old women. You know, you don't want to be like that. You want to be happy. You want to be that happy person, right? And this might be hard for you to do. We got the Ten of Wands right here. It's hard to, you know, remove that anger, but it's something, if you want to be happy in your life, you have to change, right? Nobody likes change, but it's something that helps us grow. Change is imminent. We're getting older every single day, so we are changing every single day. So you shouldn't fear change. We also have the Knight of Wands here. You could have been dealing with toxic people who are playing games with you, playing with your head, and we don't like that. This is the player card. It's in the upright. You could have also been dealing with somebody that was burdensome to you, who was constantly cheating on you, and you probably knew it. Yeah, that's when it kind of sucks. Okay, but you need to make that decision. Are you going to hang around and stay in that for the rest of your life? Or are you going to separate from yourself and go and find happiness, the happiness that you deserve? Okay, we also have the King of Cups. Let's find out who you are, right? This is about what? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You could have that in your chart. Somebody could have that in their chart. What other people do we have here? The Magician, that's a card of Aries. We have fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So that's so far, you know, the people I see right here. Oh, we have the King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So we got a lot of people right here. We also have the Knight of Swords. So basically the gang's all here. Everybody's here, okay? I need one more card. We already have 2 aces there. How cool, right? At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Four of Wands again. Soulmate energy, all right? So this is, you know, are you dealing with a soulmate or are you dealing with a karmic, right? Now, we appreciate both, right? We don't hate anyone. Maybe we might dislike somebody, but we right here are dealing with 2 separate people. So you could have been dealing with a soulmate and a karmic, okay? Now, we also have right here the Ace of Wands, and this doubles as a strength card. And this is telling me that you are a strong person. You might even have Leo in your chart somewhere. You know, if you don't know about that, you can click down on the drop down. You can find a link that I have there. I think it's like Astro Sofa or Astro Cafe or something. And you can print out or look at, you don't even need to print it. You can look at your whole birth chart right there if you just plug in that information. And you can find out yourself, see what kind of fire sign or something you have in your chart. You might have Leo in your chart. Who knows? We also have the Ace of Swords, and this is a card about telling the truth. So we know that you're strong. We know that you're going to tell the truth. And that truth might involve dealing with 2. Okay? So if it's dealing with 2 and you're not dealing with anybody romantically, it could also indicate that you are going to speak to somebody. You're going to go speak some truth. You're going to be strong enough to do that. And you may admit that you have to give to 2, which could be children. Somebody here could have a child that they're supporting or something like that, right? Or dealing with 2, maybe a lot of work. You work a lot or something like that, right? You have to give your time to several different things. And that's what this conversation might be about when you're telling the truth about something. So this is a really good reading. This is a reading about somebody who's healing, who wants to talk to another person and probably get away from a toxic situation. And you know what? Like I said before, if you don't know if somebody cares about you or where you can go or whatever, the only way that you're going to find out is if you contact them. If you don't contact them, you will never know. And you never know, that person might be there and they might step in and say, all right, I'm going to give you a hand here. I'm going to help you and maybe your child or whoever you got going on, right? So I do suggest if you want to know about something, you got to go find out. You got to go ask. You got to do your own little research, you know, and I guarantee you, you know, at least if you find out whether it's the truth or not, or yes, or the answer is yes or no, at least you know that you can move forward. Okay. So if it resonated, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Also, keep it true love energy. Happy, friendly, loving types. We have nothing to fear as long as we stay calm and cheerful. I'm Mona, it's Kaleidoscope Dreams Tarot, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.